Oh, and we are live.
We are live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to celebrating the Ewok adventures here at Forcefest. I am Richard Woloski, and we are so happy to present this panel where we look back at the Caravan of Courage and Ewok adventure and celebrate the 35th anniversary of Ewoks, the Battle for Endor.
Yay.
Yay.
How are you guys?
Welcome,
we are everybody. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome. Now, I am Sarah Woloski, but before we get started, we wanted to remind everyone that Forcefest weekend, we are raising money for Make-A-Wish, Greater LA, and your donation will directly fund wishes for critically ill children. It's very exciting, and you can donate to the link in the chat that Eric has just posted, or if you look at the little blue V diamond, that is V coin on Get Vocal. Okay. And it's on the upper right side of your screen. And if you buy some V coin right here and donate that during any panel during Forcefest weekend, any stage, then Get Vocal will match 33% of every donation made, which is really cool. So your donation, I know.
It's great.
That's awesome. Wonderful. So we are very excited about that. And now
you're like the 501st.
Yes.
Nice.
But now, now we want to make sure to welcome you two. So we're so happy to have two stars of both of the Ewok adventure films with us here now. Eric Walker, who played
everybody.
and he played older brother Mace Towani. And also here is Kevin Thompson. And he was the bad Ewok.
The baddest one.
The baddest, yeah.
There you go. Go ahead and say it.
I'm the oxymoron. I'm the tough Ewok.
Let's go with tough rather than bad.
All right, guys. I like that. Bad.
Yes.
He was tough enough to tame Mace and even show him up. So yeah.
Oh yeah. He showed Mace the business end of his Ewokness, Ewok attitude.
Grabbed his nose.
Yeah.
You got your nose.
Oh boy. I wondered where it was this whole time.
Now we're very excited to jump in with the Ewok adventures. I'm a vintage baby. I grew up with the Ewok adventures, loved them, loved every second of anything having to do with Star Wars on TV. But let's back up to you, Eric. Now, what was it like auditioning for Mace Towani, and did you know that you were walking into Star Wars?
I had an idea. I mean, I had seen Return of the Jedi the year before, of course, and I saw it, a million times in a movie theater, like not a million times, but probably, I saw it, 10 or 12 times. And so I was in love with Star Wars and everything that it was about. And so when I first went to go audition for the role, it wasn't described like it was a Star Wars movie, of course. My agent called me and said, "Oh, we have a quick audition for you. It's just a general meeting. You don't need to pick up sides." Of course, Kevin knows what sides are. You don't have to pick up that. That's the script. All you have to do is the producers just want to see if you're the right look for this role. And it's this character that's kind of like a bully type. So dress appropriately, and it's for a 1 hour after school special, is what they said. So I went down to meet with, and then I met with John Cordy and Thomas Smith at a place called the Egg Factory. Do you remember the Egg Factory, Kevin? Do you remember that? Yeah, that was like Lucasfilm's headquarters. It was across the street from Universal Studios.
Right, exactly. It was where I think there's
a subway now. Yeah, I think.
Parking, it's a subway. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So I went there, and they liked me and said, I know we said you didn't have to read, but do you mind taking some sides and going out with your dad and studying them? And I said, sure, on one condition, if I could do my monologue, because I had prepared this very serious monologue. At that time, I was studying acting and went to acting workshops, and I studied with Virgil Fry, whose daughter is Soleil Moon Fry. She was Punky Brewster. And but Virgil Fry was one of those actors. He was involved in the civil rights movement. with Paul Newman, Marlon Brando, and Jack Nicholson, and all of them. They were all buddies. So I studied with him, and that's where I honed my craft. So I was very serious. I really wanted to do this monologue, and they said, "Okay, yeah, go ahead and do it." So I went out and studied. I came back in. I read, and then I saw Ewoks, and I said, "Wait a minute, does this have something to do with Star Wars?" I think this might have something to do with Star Wars, but I wasn't sure. So I read it. And then it was just ended nice. They said, "Good job. Thank you very much. We'll be in touch." And then about a week or 2 weeks later, less than 2 weeks, they asked me to do a screen test. And they flew me up to Marin County, Mill Valley, actually, where John Cordy's had Cordy Films in Mill Valley. And Aubrey Miller was there, and they wanted to do screen tests with the both of us to see how we worked together. Also to see how Aubrey handled it, because she was so young. She was only 4 years old at the time. So they wanted to make sure she could handle it. They also wanted to make sure she wasn't afraid of an Ewok. So they brought out an Ewok on a stick, and that's that old saying, that I say. And
Ewok on a stick.
On a stick. Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. I don't remember which Ewok it was. So
the 501st, I love to bring them over for a barbecue. They get really scared.
I'll bet. So at the end of the day, they said, "Can you give us a few minutes?" And then I think I went to the bathroom or something, and I came out. And as I was walking through the kitchen, John Cordy stopped me and said, "Congratulations, you got the role." So they told me at the end of the day I had the role. So
wow.
That was real quick. It was fast. It was like we were shooting a month later.
Wow.
It was very fast.
And your audition tape is on YouTube, right? Because
it
should see that, because it's very, very heartfelt, very emotional.
Yeah, the poor kid had a terrible life, that's for sure. But yeah, that original audition, I managed to get a copy from John Cordy, and he gave me a copy of it. And it turns out that was the producer. I was told, I don't know if it's true, but I was told that Tom Smith didn't hit the record button. But he did when I did the monologue. So all George saw was the monologue and this kid crying. And you know how he gets when kids get emotional, because he's a father and how he is. And I guess he picked me. So George really liked me. So I was George's choice, and they just wanted to see us work together.
Now, I was very excited about the Ewok adventure because it starred this character named Mace. And yes, being a Star Wars fan from the very start, Mace goes back to the early 70s, and all of the original Star Wars script versions, there was someone named Mace. And then when I saw that Mace was going to be in this movie, I thought, finally we have a Mace in Star Wars. So you have the distinction of being the very first Mace in Star Wars.
Yep. I'm the OM, the original Mace. Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson's like, "Oh, I missed it by a couple of decades."
Sorry, Sam.
All right, now Kevin, you started in the Star Wars universe as an Ewok stuntman in Return of the Jedi. You signaled the Endor battle cry. You fought stormtroopers, and your Ewok character Chubray graced the cover of classic Marvel Star Wars comic issue 94, Small Wars, which is just over your left-hand shoulder.
Ooh.
Right over there. There we go. I'm looking at the. Oh, there you go. There you go. You're right.
Well, that was a recreation.
Okay.
Recreation by Jamie Sullivan and myself, and so it's a limited edition. And if you go to Kevin the Ewok at gmail.com, I can DM you and tell you I've only a limited number that you could purchase.
I've always loved that character. I've always loved that cover as a kid, because as a kid I loved the Ewoks. So here was an Ewok gracing the cover with his foot on a stormtrooper helmet. That's a tough Ewok. In the Ewok adventure,
that's me.
You played Chukha-trok, as we said, is a very, very tough Ewok. How would you describe this character, and how did you approach playing him to separate him from the other Ewoks?
Well, I wanted to take him a little bit tougher, but I was thinking more like Haas Cartwright, Santa Claus, just a very jovial guy, very tough. But you didn't want the whole thing of being tough, and I wanted to be likable. And so you had Mace, who was very angry kid, and I can see his point. We're a bunch of furballs, and he's trying to save his mom and dad, and I'm the guy that's going to do it. So I had to be I wanted the audience to like me. And so who doesn't like Santa Claus? And then also Haas Cartwright, if you would know anything about Bonanza, Haas was the big middle brother, and he was the tough guy. He would always save little Joe or the Bonanza ranch and everything, and that's what I was going to do. I had an axe. I was very sure of myself. Oh, this is a little boy. Oh, isn't he cute? He thinks he's so tough. Oh, gosh. Oh, now you're going to diss me with talking about me? Oh, okay. You really want to see me throw the axe? Sure. Oh, how's that? How's that, dude? I'm like, I'm Robin Hood. Toughest thing on one of those was riding the horse.
Oh.
Riding a horse in an Ewok outfit. All right. Try riding a horse. Well, what is a horse's natural enemy? A bear.
Yeah, good point.
What do we look like? A bear. What did that horse like to try and do to me, Eric? He loved to ride over and find any tree and try and knock me off.
Yeah, he tried to get you in a tree.
I was riding. I could not see where I'm going because once you put that on, the eye holes you can see anyway.
After 5 seconds.
Up and everything. They're up here anyway, so I can't. I'm looking through the nose and I can't see anything. All I can see is a little bit of daylight. So it's basically point me in the right direction. The horse is going, yeah, I'm not going that way. And so I had to kind of feel like a jockey of where to go. And I'm riding Secretariat or trying to ride him the right way, dressed like a bear, and he's trying to knock me out. I'm trying to catch the other horse with the hut on it and everything. It was quite exhilarating.
And also tell him the story about Tony Cox. Remember when the horse like knocked him off?
I was gonna say.
Well, Tony was very he's very. He had never been on horses before Ewok Adventure. And Tony played the little brother or middle brother, Whittle.
Yes.
And he somehow slipped off the pony. He had just a little pony, and he would ride it. And if the pony got going a little bit fast, he'd get very nervous. Well, he somehow slipped off, and he's hanging onto the neck. And he's literally 6 inches off the ground. And he's hollering at the crew to help him. And we're all just laughing at him. Like Eric was saying, we're just laughing at him going, dude, just let go. Let go, and you're on the ground. No, I'm not letting go. I'm not going. I'm way up here. I know I'm way up here. He thought he was like 6 feet high. And it's like, no, you're 6 inches high.
Oh.
And he had no idea because in these outfits, you don't know. And it's like, just let go. Let it go. Let it go.
And he was a prankster, Tony, so you never knew if he was joking or not.
and he was Wicked's middle brother, right?
No, he was Wicked's Wicked's middle brother. Yeah,
Wicked's middle brother. Okay.
Yeah. Because Debbie Carrington was Weechie, which was called Wooly in the original script. They changed the name, so
right. Which Tony is a very fine actor. He's been in Me, Myself, and Irene, Band Santa, and a host of other movies. But this one, it's just you in the context when you don't know how high you're up. It's like stepping for that extra step.
Oh yeah,
we've all been there. Yeah,
you've always been there, and you're
yeah.
And it's just, and he didn't know that he was only 6 inches off the ground. But it was a great crack up because he had been really getting Eric's goad.
I'm an easy target. Yeah, I'm an easy target.
Yes, he was, and he was young, and he was playing tough and everything like that. And we were always just ragging on each other because we could, and it was just it was a great group of us. It was Dan Frischman, Pam, Grizz, Debbie, Tony, Margarita Farrell, and we had a great time. Oh, and Bobby Bell, and the group of Ewoks that we had that George had picked, we were just doing. We had a great ensemble. We liked each other. It was just we could kid each other, and the other one kid back, and
And Bobby
That's
Porter
exciting.
came up and did a lot of the Ewok stunts. I remember Bobby Porter.
Oh.
He did one day.
Yeah.
He did one
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to say that Amanda B in the chat was very excited about your story, Kevin, and donated for Make-A-Wish.
Yay!
Oh, yay! Thank
Yay.
you, Amanda. Now,
Way to go,
Kevin,
Amanda.
let's
Thank you.
revisit that. You said George had picked his Ewoks for the Ewok adventure. So how did you make it into that group?
Well, I had already, I had done most of on the battle. I'm basically in about 90% of that battle.
Wow.
And Return of the
there's
Jedi.
One scene in Return of the Jedi, I blow the horn. I then bulldog all those stormtroopers down. I then shoot the arrows one side, and then shoot the arrows on the other
Oh,
side,
God.
and then I swing in and knock stormtroopers off the thing, and so that's the first 4 scenes.
Yeah.
So, and so he knew me from those types of doing those scenes, but you still had we all auditioned, and some Ewoks had stolen their Ewok outfits,
Oh
so they didn't get asked,
Hmm.
and so
my gosh.
I got asked back, and they were looking for a big Ewok, and so when they Dan Frischman, who was a Shakespearean actor, played Deej, I'm about a good head taller than Dan, so I don't know if I was cast first or Dan was cast first. Wicket Warwick was cast first. If cut to the chase,
Sure.
and then everybody was cast around that. Debbie was one of George's favorites in the outfit. He really liked the look of Debbie in that. Tony Cox was a perfect middle brother because he did all the speeder bike, all that ILM stuff of all the craziness of the speeder bike when Papaloo steals his speeder bike in Return of the Jedi. All the crazy stuff is actually Tony Cox.
Oh, I never knew that.
Who steals it is Kenny. It goes Kenny Baker, steals it. Then it becomes Tony Cox. Then I swing off of it.
Ah.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Oh, my head is going boom.
The magic of editing.
New information.
The magic of editing, exactly, because I don't look like Kenny doesn't look like Tony, and Tony doesn't look like me.
So George said, this guy will do anything. Hang him from a speeder bike, swing him from a vine.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually nailed it on the audition. As I was undressing, they had basically said that I got it. So that was that fast.
Wow.
I knew that I knew I had a good audition, but you didn't know.
So
Realize how
did you audition for Chukha-trok?
Oh,
Oh, a lot of body language.
Yeah, a lot of body language. And you basically made up your own, you didn't know what. Dan Frischman would really come in and have his Ewok language down, which really is made up. But he'd come in and go, ooh, chop, ding, do, whoa. And I go, dude, what's happening?
So
because they're gonna loop it later on anyway, and we can't see each other. And I couldn't see Eric when he was doing his acting or anything because their head's on. You can just hear where he's at, and you can hear the location of where he's at. And we do a big death scene, and we had to remember rehearsing in the
hotel, in your hotel room,
the hotel, right?
The night before.
Say, get over here. You got a big scene, and you got to do this, and we're gonna study. We're gonna work on
Yeah,
this.
and we did.
So you were brought back for Ewok Adventure because kids, listen to this: stealing doesn't pay.
There you go.
Yeah,
He didn't
Good
steal
point.
an Ewok outfit, and he was brought back.
absolutely.
Nope, I was, and then I was brought back for Ewoks too because they needed a stunt.
Yeah.
Because my character was.
You know what,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we got to read this comment from Chris Alexander, author of Star Wars Origami. Hence the old joke: how many Ewoks does it take to steal a speeder bike? The answer we know is 3.
The 3 Ewoks, yes.
All right, Eric, the bar has been set. So
Okay.
share a story from the Ewok adventure that rivals Kevin's.
Oh my goodness, there's so many. I mean, we
hanging off a horse.
Well, actually, speaking about throwing the axe, one of the times I threw the axe, it actually hit that spot. I don't know if Kevin remembers that. It did. One of the times when I actually threw it, I actually did hit it. So, which is because I was already an athlete anyway. I played baseball And actually, I was being scouted at the time for semi-pro baseball. I probably would have been a professional baseball player had I not stuck with acting. So a little bit about my past, but there were so many different things. I mean, I worked very hard on that movie. I was on the set every day. In fact, I was the only actor on the set the last day of filming. Everybody had already got left, and I didn't even get to say goodbye to Warwick. He had to write me a note, which I have, which was nice. Yeah, there's lots of stories from palling around with Warwick. Warwick and Davis and I were like the same age. We both were teenagers and brats. So
they gave you a bit. Do you remember they gave?
That's right. They gave us video equipment because the set teacher Ramsey thought it would be a good idea as a school project to make behind the scenes type of documentary. So Warwick actually had one of his cameras as well. So we had two cameras, and we walked around, and we probably bothered people a lot, but we were kids and just doing our own thing. And Warwick would do it. I saw the comedy genius in Warwick Davis when we were doing those movies, because he would do these like commercials with like Shasta root beer and all this other stuff, and he had very good comic time even as a kid. But let me see some of the things that might have happened. I remember one time in the beginning when Mace first breaks in and tries to threaten Ewoks before they take him down. He fires his blaster, and then it hits the ricochets, and you see a squib go off inside the Star Cruiser. When I actually filmed that scene, the guy who did the squib put too much in it, so it actually one of the embers flew inside my boot and caught it on fire, and got burnt a little bit. But that was okay. But that was some exciting stuff. What else?
You know what? Tell you what. Speaking of great stories and the fact that you had a video camera and you were able to run around and take some video footage.
Also, camera. I had my dad got a camera too, a steel camera.
Yeah, you and your dad thankfully took so many great pictures behind the scenes of the Ewok adventure. So you know what? Let's go ahead.
We weren't supposed to have.
I know, and remember when I don't know if you know this, but they took the kids on a tour of ILM, and I brought that camera, so I was taking pictures of all the little Indiana Jones miniatures and all the Star Wars stuff. And I heard that the person who took us on the tour got in trouble the next day because someone reported that I was taking pictures.
Yeah, this was before the NDAs were taken too seriously.
Yeah,
the non-disclosure agreement.
Oh no, the NDA was serious.
Except for Eric.
They
didn't make us sign one on the first one. It was the second one that they made us sign for the scripts and everything. But the first, they were very laxed on Caravan of Courage. But the second one, I had to sign. I go, what the heck's going on? They're making me sign for the script, and it's numbered, and it's like on the second one they were very, very hardcore.
All because of you.
All because of me, yes.
Yeah. Who was that kid taking pictures on that? Who was he? He was wearing an orange jumpsuit. He had a tan vest.
I almost put the orange jumpsuit on, but I was running late. So.
Oh, that's okay. Well, okay. So I do want to call out that Greg also contributed Vcoin in the chat. So
yay!
And what's exciting, if you do purchase some Vcoin right here on Get Vocal and you contribute in the chat, you have the opportunity to choose a really cute Ewok GIF or GIF, whichever you prefer. So there's been a couple of them. So you guys, look through the GIFs, donate, make a wish.
Yeah. So Eric, when you get a second, put the link in the chat because you have all of this awesome, rare behind the scenes Ewok footage on your YouTube channel.
I did put the link to my YouTube channel already. But I didn't put the exact link to the videos. But I did put a link to my channel already.
All right. So anyone go there, because this is something that is not owned by Lucasfilm. It's owned by Eric. So this is all brand new footage.
I'd love to. Those backstage photos, Eric, if you can give
of course, you have they're all yours. Anything you're in, you're welcome to have, brother. Yeah.
All right, so now with that, let's go through some of these rare unseen photos behind the scenes on the Ewok adventure, many starring a shirtless Kevin Thompson.
I'm sure his wife would like to see those. No.
We were dating then.
Oh, nice.
So Eric, here is you and George Lucas. Is that
that's
John Cordy?
No, that's Tom Smith next to, and then John Cordy's on to the right. You can't see him. You see his hat a little bit. He's in the John Cordy. You can't see him. You see kind of he's in the lighter color, But that's
Right.
Tom Smith with George Lucas. And this is we filmed the Magic Pond scene during this day. Then George visited set.
That was tough. You had to be underwater
Yeah,
for all that, trying to make. But then we did it later on in post-production.
The pool,
with you in the whole.
But this particular scene, George showed up this day when we were filming this scene, and Joe Johnston was with him. There might be some other pictures that had Joe Johnston in it too.
Do you recall what George was telling you right now?
I don't remember. George was a very soft-spoken gentleman. He reminded me a lot of my father because I couldn't hear half of what he said because my dad mumbled too.
Maybe something like, "Okay, we don't have that much insurance on you. Don't drown in this scene."
No, nothing like that. But George was very nice. He was very kind. I just remember he was encouraging me as the whole time we were making it. He would tell me, I saw that scene. You did really a great job. And when he directed us, which we could get into later, a lot of people don't realize this, but George actually directed the reshoot, which he kept quiet for 20 years and didn't tell anybody.
Obi Mike in the chat beat me to the punch. Did George say to you, faster and more intense?
Well, I mean, yeah, he says lines sort of like that, but he knows how to set up a shot. That's the one thing about George is he's really quick. He's fast, and everybody's moving. I don't know if maybe you saw the same thing, Kevin, but when George would visit the set, suddenly the whole set was moving 100 miles an hour faster, it seemed like, when the boss was there. So
of course.
Yeah, it's true. Except for the one. Yeah, there's a around.
All right, so Kevin, tell us what's going on here.
Nice knuckles.
So Kevin, how old are you here?
We're just like I said, the group of us, we would diss each other, and it was all out and fun. If you were going to do something, kind of a prank to one person, you knew you were going to get pranked back. We were just having fun in between scenes and things like that. And so we had we had known each other for not only from Return of the Jedi, but we had known each other from before that. Most of us all lived in LA. So we kind of hung out. Tony Cox and I played on a basketball team called the Hollywood Shorties, and we were the smallest basketball team in the world. Tony is amazing. He had a half-court shot, so whenever we could, we would have. Remember, I had basketball, and we would go off. We would go off, and on weekends we would go play at a local elementary school and just
we had fun playing basketball. They would always whip us.
And now, who was this Ewok actress?
That was Kank. That was Margarita Fernandez.
And there's Eric in the background saying, I'm glad it's not me he's teasing.
Looks like a yoo-hoo you're drinking.
Exactly.
There we go, Kevin.
Oh, here's some horse scenes.
There I am on the horse.
All right, so is this before or after the horse started attacking you?
Probably, I mean, it's all the whole movie, so I'm probably saying, look at my face. You know what? This horse tried to run me right into the tree.
And now it answers the question, is there horses in Star Wars? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. This Chukha-trok, ready for action.
No, yeah.
Now, the thing about Chukha-trok, he was a very tough Ewok, but at the end of the day, he sacrificed himself for the Towani family. And
yes, I did. Yep, he did. He was. It was somebody has to do it, and I was the one that. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's Chukha-trok. He sacrificed himself for everybody.
Now I'm wondering what's happening in this picture because there's someone holding an Ewok's head on a stick. It looks like they're ready to switch you out with a different Ewok costume.
Did someone just behead Weechi?
Yeah. Actually, that kind of looks like Whittle, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the white cheeks.
I think it's Whittle. If it's the two white cheeks, is Whittle.
Okay, got you there. And I think aside from Wicket, Chukha-trok has got the most personality of any Ewok from the two Ewok films and even Return of the Jedi. There's so much to his character. There's so much development.
Well, yeah, it is. He does definitely have an arc. He doesn't want to go. He decides to go, and then he decides to make. What
are you wearing tennis shoes? You didn't have your feet on. Did they do that all the time?
No, so I could. To get into stirrups because the Ewok feet would not fit in the stirrup.
Okay.
Wow.
So then they would make. Sometimes they would black.
Oh.
Nice
out.
catch there, Eric.
Yeah.
I hadn't remembered that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So Eric, tell
Yeah.
us about this scene.
This is a scene that was cut out of the movie. In the original script, it was it was listed like the gulping flower glade. And in this scene, originally the Ewoks go with Mace to go get more medicine for Sindel. And in the original movie, it was in this area. And for whatever reason, they cut it out and they got rid of it and they substituted it and put that to tree monster thing in there.
Oh.
So, and it actually created the biggest continuity mistake in the entire movie because when we did the flower scene, I stuck the correct hand that's injured later that Shodu's helping me with in the Ewok hut. It was correct. It was the correct hand. But later, when they did the reshoot, and that scene was directed by George, by the way. George directed the scene with the tree monster. So if you want to know actual scenes he directed, that's one of them. In fact, there is a picture of some new book that just came out where George is directing me, and it has a picture of George directing me. Because now he doesn't care if everybody knows. But that scene was a great scene. It was going to be a great scene. I don't know why they cut it out. Did you hear any reason why they cut that out, Kevin, or just didn't work or something? Maybe they had too many special effects that they had to do, or I don't know.
I'm not sure. Sometimes, directors decide, they keep seeing something as a writer. You keep seeing it going, I don't like that scene anymore. And it's not that it's bad. It's just they got bored. And so let's do
I think I had heard
and,
that there was it was going to create too many effects or something. They didn't have the time to complete it, but I don't know for sure.
Does this footage exist anywhere? Do you know, Eric?
Would have to. I mean, we shot the scene all day long. We shot that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah, but you've never seen it
Yeah.
since.
I've not seen it, and I just happen to have these pictures because my dad was taking pictures on the set.
Yeah.
So,
And now
I think Steve Sansweet has a book out, and he has these
Oh.
pictures in his book as well.
Oh, okay. I'm looking in the back here. Was this shot at Big Rock Ranch at Lucasfilm?
Yes, that's Skywalker Ranch.
almost the whole time we would drive to
Okay, yeah.
Lucas Ranch, and we shot
That Big
on
Rock
Lucas
gave it away.
Ranch.
Yeah. No kidding.
All right. Now, there we
Oh.
go.
Is that more
Big
of
Rock
that
again.
scene?
Yep.
Okay.
Big Rock again.
Aw.
Aww. All together now.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
So
Look at
there's
these
you and
photos.
Aubrey Miller as Sindel, and you said 4 years old there?
Mhm.
She's 4, yeah. In fact, she turned
Mhm.
5 like the month after we finished it, like in September.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
And
Yeah.
at this
That's
Okay.
Debbie in the
and
background.
at this point, Warwick Davis is 14 years old. Was he still on an amazing high after Return of the Jedi success? How was he to work with?
he was just a normal kid to me. He didn't seem like big-headed or anything like that. No, I mean, yeah.
No, that's the wonderful thing about Warwick. He's just stayed. I just saw him last year. He's just Warwick. He's just a guy. He was a incredible. When I met him in London on Return of the Jedi, he just was very infatuated with the whole everything. It was exciting to go to, what are we doing today? What are we going to do today? And that's, what do you do? I'm a costumer. You make all the costumes.
Very
that
inquisitive,
we
yeah.
wear. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, he's very inquisitive.
So being on
Yeah, he's also started LP UK, which is comparable to LPA, Little People of
Oh.
America. Here, he's got LP
Yes.
United Kingdom out there, and he and his
Yeah,
wife
Sam.
are very, very involved and active in the outreach of little people and helping them achieve their goals and things
Amazing.
in the UK.
Wow.
so Warwick must have been
Yeah.
that much needed cheerleader on these films
Oh, he was, and
because everyone was
oh yeah, he was always having a grand.
Yeah.
He was always a.
He's
Yeah.
a ball of
He's
energy,
always a-
right? And everyone's drawn to that.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm sure after 20 minutes of being inside
Yes.
the Ewok
Yes.
costume in the summertime, the attitudes get a little bit ripe.
Well, I do have to say, Kenny Baker was supposed to do back on we called it Leia's log on Return of the Jedi.
That was his.
That
He
was
was supposed
Kenny
to be
Baker,
Wicket. Yeah.
and that was his scene. He was actually cast as Wicket. His name was Wicket.
And then he got food poisoning.
And Warwick was just brought along. Kenny got sick. Kenny could not perform that day. And so the assistant director said, let's try Warwick. Because they had just brought Warwick along because they liked him. They liked hanging out. You know what? We're Lucasfilm. We can do what we want. We're going to pay the fine. We're going to bring the little guy over, and we're going to bring him to the States. And so when the chance came that it was time to, it was the big scene, Warwick just knocked it out of the park. Yeah. Warwick had Kenny, him running it up and down that log. I love Kenny Baker, but Warwick was 11 years old, 12 years old, and he's able to run up and down that. Kenny was a man, and he wouldn't have found that ingenuity, the energy, the inquisitiveness, the childlike that he and Carrie really connected, and I think that's what.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, Eric, Bob Miller, W.R. Miller in the chat is asking what book were you just mentioning that George Lucas had put out, or a book about him where they had your pictures?
It's a recent book. I'm trying to remember that. Let me try to look it up, and hopefully I can get it to you before the end of our panel.
Okay.
That way you guys know.
It's afterwards, Bob. I'll forward you the message.
Yeah.
And then this location, once again, this is up at Lucasfilm up north of San Francisco.
This is in Roy's Redwoods Preserve, which is which is close to Skywalker Ranch. It's over. Forgot the name of the near San Jeromo or whatever. I just recently went over there. You could actually go there and go hiking. It's called Roy's Redwoods Preserve if you look it up. Speaking about Warwick and his nature and his acting, I mean, I could tell in a second when someone else is doubling for him in a second, because he has that wobble, that Ewok wobble, and every time I see this scene in the movie, I go, "Uh-oh, Margarita Fernandez had to step in because Warwick had to leave for the day." So sometimes she would have to step in and put on that Ewok costume because he had that hobble. And at the very beginning of Caravan of Courage, when Wicket is swinging on that swing, and then he goes up to his mom before he goes to find the father. If you watch after he gets off the swing and you see Wicket walk, that's not Warwick, and you could tell because Margarita's not doing that wobble. And then suddenly it cuts to another shot, and you could tell it's Warwick again in the same scene.
Well, Warwick has long arms.
Yeah.
Margarita has short arms. They're about the same size, but it's body types. They're two completely different
yes, that's
types
true.
of dwarfism.
There's Aubrey.
Look at that face. No wonder she got the part.
Yeah.
Cute.
Adorable.
Warwick is working. Say, could you please stop squeezing me and holding me too hard? You can see.
So, with the three of you, a really tight knit group.
We were. Yeah, we were. This was. I think this was shot. We went over to the Millers. They had rented a house for them. They didn't stay in the hotel. And Rhonda and Dave Miller, which is Aubrey Miller's parents, invited us all over often. And I think we were over for dinner on the weekend, and I took this picture. This picture, actually, yeah.
Oh, look at that! Look at that picture! Look at that picture! Oh my God!
Yeah.
There's you and Tony Cox.
Hey, there's Tony.
Whatever.
Have you been in touch with Tony, Kevin? I was wondering what's going on. Yeah, because I miss him.
I haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah, he's still around. He's still, still acting, still trying to get projects going. Because of
it sure has.
Hollywood's been shut down since March, so it's makes me want to give him a call because the playoffs.
now remind us what he did on the Ewok films.
He was the middle brother.
Okay.
Now, Eric, you look a little older than the previous pictures.
This is during the second during
Battle for
Ewok,
Endor?
Yep, the Battle for Endor. Yeah, they invited us, and we went and had a nice dinner over at the Millers. I think it was because if you see, there's some other pictures too, and we all went there. They invited everybody. They'll come up later.
Okay.
This is the Magic Pond.
Oh, and this is during Battle for Endor as well,
Yes.
because that's not Guy Boyd as
No, it's
Jeremy
not.
Towani.
That's Paul Gleason. Yep.
Paul Gleason, Mr. Vernon from The Breakfast Club. And didn't they figure anyone was going to point out the fact that he's Mr. Vernon from The Breakfast Club and not Dad Towani?
Well, I think he did this first.
Actually,
this was before The Breakfast Club. So this is 80. This is 87. I believe it's before The Breakfast Club. I'm not sure.
Breakfast Club was 85, and
Okay,
so
well,
was
then he
Battle
did do
for
it.
Endor.
Okay,
it must have
so
been
the
right
same
on the
year.
heels.
There you go.
Okay.
Right on the heels. Okay, there you go.
And I don't know why they cast him, by the way, as the father in the second one. I do know that a few people told me that they've spoken to Guy Boyd at conventions, and he said that they just never asked him to come back.
Huh.
So
Wow.
Maybe he's one of the guys who stole the Ewok costume. See, kids, crime doesn't pay.
or the Jeremit costume, right? And he had a different name. There were different names. The parents had different Jeremit, or he had some other name. I don't think his name was Jeremit.
Yeah,
Something
it
else.
really confused me while watching this as a kid. It's like, what? This is not the same dad. What is this? Not one of those Bewitched situations where hopefully people won't notice.
Yeah.
Dick Sargent, Dick York. All right, and here's the magic lake again.
Yes, Magic
And
Pond. I'm actually in there in the water right now. Yeah.
Wow.
And did they make this pond just for the movie?
Yep.
Okay, because I thought maybe they would have
did.
over at Skywalker
Well,
Ranch. They
magic.
have Lake Ewok.
That's on the other side of the hill, though. This was over the hill. Yeah.
Yeah, Lake Ewok is a little beach.
And this is much smaller.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Like now, Kevin, do you recall shooting this scene?
Yeah, we did. We kept saying, we'll just.
I know you were teasing me. Yeah, you told me that leave him here and let him drown.
Okay, I want to know, did any Ewoks fall in?
Oh boy.
Lunch, we kept going. We kept going. Lunch? No, we never fell in. We were pretty good. What we would do would be count our steps as we would get close to it. So we knew, it was, going down. So you're not, you're not very agile, where we had to be agile to be around that.
Yeah.
So
If any of you fell in.
Though it would have been nice because it was
I'm the lucky one.
in the water. So
With all those,
saying, just leave it in. But the water wasn't.
with all that fur, you would have sunk.
Yeah.
They never would have seen you again. You and the Titanic below there.
Yeah. And then we exactly.
What is this?
Oh no!
Eric, what is this?
That's where they used to put the heads when they were done using them.
If there's any kids watching right now, I'm really sorry. I apologize for this. This is the.
Hey, they were so sweaty. They had to air out.
Yeah.
After lunch was always the toughest.
Widow,
That was the toughest scenes,
Wicket,
you put on a wet bathing suit at night.
Yep.
It didn't quite dry. You're gonna go night swimming, so you're gonna put the wet bathing suit on, and it's like sticks to you.
Yeah.
That was our afternoons after we had, went out, had lunch, and because we were in an inch of padding all the way around from our ankles to our wrists, and then we had latex hands and feet, a latex mask, and so it was quite the hot 120 minimum.
Yeah.
You guys were always sweating. Oh my goodness.
And then as soon as we put the helmet on, the eyes would fog up. They tried to make it with like Windex and anti-fog Windex, but it didn't work. They tried all sorts of different things to try, but it just didn't work. We would count our steps. So you're acting, you're listening to Eric as Mace, you're acting your inner dialogue yourself, and you're going 1, 2, 3. I'm here.
I bet.
Yeah, I'm here. All right, cut.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. Okay. You're walking into your close-up, and many times you find your light as you walk in. You could feel the light on your face, as a good actor and stage actor does. But when you're in a mask, you think you have your light, but you know, it's a
This is a whole
it's
different,
a hit and miss.
a whole different level of acting.
So many times,
You got to really step it up.
it
Wow.
is. It is. Yeah, you have to have energy all the time. Eric could probably tell what it's like afternoon, getting tired.
Oh yeah,
you know,
you guys were.
So it would just be, we would.
Wow.
We were doing 12.
They
Oh, yeah,
worked
I-
a lot harder than
It
we
was-
did.
it
That's
was-
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I had to change that picture. We were freaking out everyone in the chat.
Okay.
But we also want to call out John Zancanaro, who donated another a V coin in the chat
you,
right
John.
here at Get
Way to
Vocal.
And
He
he
found
put
it-
a,
Yeah. Go ahead,
and
Eric.
you got my nose there, Chukha-trok.
He found a
Yeah.
GIF with both of our actors right here. in
That
it.
is awesome, Eric. I noticed in that GIF that you're kind of leaning into Chukha-trok. Is that because he couldn't find you?
Yeah, I don't know. Subconsciously, yeah, he couldn't see me, right? So I'm trying to help him out.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, now let's talk about this picture right over here. There's you and Warwick Davis and Aubrey Miller and a couple of other kids.
Yeah, that's Warwick, of course, and then Aubrey, and then my photo double is right there. Mace's double. That's Corbin Quinn,
Oh.
and Warwick's sister is behind him. That's Kim, the one right, and all the way to the right, the blonde-haired girl. That's Aubrey Miller's older sister, Megan.
Ah.
So
Okay.
Very nice.
Oh.
So I believe someone was mentioning in the chat how they had to curl Aubrey Miller's hair each day. Proof.
every day. Yep, she had straight hair. Yeah.
Okay, and there's Kevin in the foreground.
Get the
Uh-huh.
There's
Shirley
Kevin
Temple
saying, "Hey,
going
how come
on.
no one's curling my hair?" Get
Oh,
the
you need
80s
to.
perm.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it was just that's natural. That
Nice.
was my natural hair.
And-
It's just
and
like
there's
you
less
could
now.
tell Kank Margarita Fernandez. Look how tired she is. Wow. Yeah, you guys worked hard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
Halfway
Dave,
through the day.
Dave in the chat said, "Who is behind Aubrey?" That's Margarita Fernandez, who played Kank. So
Nice.
All right. Do you keep in touch with her?
The wizard.
she's on my Facebook. Yeah. So every once in a while, she
Yeah.
changed. She got married and she has a different name now. I think, right? Like,
Is there last?
yeah.
Okay.
Farrell.
Oh, these are priceless photos.
That's a classic shot.
Aw.
Debbie
Oh.
and Tay say.
they look exhausted. I'm sure this is after take one.
Well, our chairs, instead of the standard movie chairs, they got us beach sand chairs. The one, they were wider,
Oh.
and two, they were lower to the ground. So
Perfect.
their feet
Why
would
they're like
touch.
white.
Mhm.
Oh, another dinner shot.
Yep. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Eric
so
in the
this
foreground.
is at the Miller's house, right?
Yes, that was the house they rented for them. Yeah. Hmm.
Nice.
And
I could
there's-
almost see Rhonda, Aubrey Miller's
So maybe-
mother, in the right. She could almost see her eye right there. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's Kevin in the background saying, "I can't believe another horse tried to eat me today." Seriously, when is my insurance company stepping in?
Do I look like hay? Do I look
Hey,
like
hey.
hay?
And that's Aubrey's dad too, behind us. So yeah,
Oh.
the guy on the right behind
Yeah.
behind.
Right over
here?
Yeah, that's Dave. Yeah.
I got a cameo.
Hey.
Wow.
All
That's
right,
pretty fun.
and
Yeah.
this is Margarita in the foreground. Kank.
Yes. Yep. You could see the blue jumpsuits, the pajamas that he was talking about earlier. Yes.
Pajamas.
Oh.
We would wear these baby blue pajamas underneath, and then you were able to, so your skin
Okay.
didn't stick to
Yeah,
the
that makes a
fat
lot of
suit
sense.
going
Now, how
on.
many pairs of those did you have?
Per day.
Yeah,
At least
makes sense.
All right,
2
sounds
to
right.
4.
All right,
Wow.
now let's wrap it up with this final picture here. This is your invite to the Ewok adventure.
Yeah, when they did a screening
Ooh.
down here in 20th Century Fox. And that was the first screening that I went to. They had a cast and crew screening. I didn't get a chance to get to that because I was doing some other work at the time. But yeah, I went to this one and got this ticket, and the ABC. That's in some of the commercials that they had where they were interviewing people, asking them about the movie. This is where they shot. I saw them shoot some of those too, those commercials, which was
Wow.
neat.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for all those fun stories. Those are great. Oh my
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so many things that you thought you knew but didn't because you weren't on set like the two of you here. Now, can seeing how this is the 35th anniversary of the Ewoks Battle for Endor, can you share any stories about being on that set? Kevin, what kind of stunts did you do there that kept you up at night?
Didn't really keep me up at night. I would have to. I basically did almost everything. Like in the very beginning of the battle with
Marauders.
What the bad guys called the Marauders. I throw a spear, and then they put me in another outfit. I shoot an arrow, and they put me in another outfit, and I throw something else. And so it was a lot of. They would set up a scene sometimes with the local extra Ewoks, and then I was doing something else. So then they'd say, okay, and one guy, the extra Ewok, would go, oh boy, I'm doing this. This is my big scene. And they'd say, thank you. Now can you move over? And Kevin's coming in.
Oh.
And they'd leave, and I go, thanks, dude. And they're like,
Aww.
It's like, dude, I was in Return of the Jedi. Come on.
You know, and I've kind of felt bad, but it was just that was my job. That's when we did a slide out of the castle, like we're all escaping. Wilford Brimley got us escaping. We're sliding down this rope to do that. I actually did some crazier stunts, and when Dan Frischman and I jumped on the axe to get Mace up to the cage,
the Gorax cage,
thing. So that was actually the Gorax cage. We had to jump off of a like 6 foot high thing to hit it like a teeter-totter. And that was actually because you don't know when you're landing, just to jump off that high as it was. And Dan Fisher and I did that jump, and we did that to send him up. That was very hairy. I didn't have to ride a horse in Ewoks 2. The toughest thing is it's one of those, an easy stunt. What they did was they had 2 Marauders, and they threw me into the jail cage, like the jail wagon. And they threw me in, and I had a pad about like this thick to land on. And I landed, they said, saw the pad. So they did it again. They put like a rug down, and they threw me in. They said, saw the pad, lose the pad. So now I've done it twice, 2 not good scenes. So next time they hit me on the side of the jail, because you can only do it so sad. So it's like I caught my shoulder. It's like
hazard pay.
Okay, all right, let's do it again, because that doesn't work. Right. So now to get back, let's do it again. And they threw it in. They had a little itty bitty pad. And they said, saw the pad. So now we're going to do it again. And this time, no pad, just a little rug, and it's a wood bottom of a wagon. And it's made like they made it, so it's not flat wood, it's like branches. Like they've made the wagon that way. So it's not fun, even though I have a padding in my outfit. Now this is the 6th time they've thrown me in, they finally landed. Okay, finally done. I'm going.
Poor Kevin.
That was quite that was on my birthday, and then the stunt coordinator came in, brought me a berry pie. Remember this, Mike Cassidy? No, but you may not have been there. Mike Cassidy brought me a berry pie, said happy birthday to you, and threw it.
What a day!
Wow.
What?
I raced after him. He had his car already started. The door was open. I'm running after him. I've got pie all over me, candles sticking out from here. Running after him, he jumps in his car and takes.
Did you have your Chukha-trok axe?
It was the second one.
Endor, right?
No, this was Ewoks 2. This was Ewoks 2, and so it was just. That's what I mean. We had quite a bit of.
And they used the same people. Mike Cassidy was the stunt coordinator on both of the movies. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, a month ago, we lost Wilford Brimley, who played Noah in Battle for Endor. And Eric, you didn't have any scenes with him, but did you see him on set? And Kevin, the same thing. Did you work with Wilford Brimley?
Well, I didn't have any scenes with him, like you said, but he was nice enough to invite me up to his hotel room, and I got to meet him, and and we chatted a little bit about acting, and he was very, very nice guy to me. I understand Kevin, he was giving Lucasfilm a hell of a time, but he was nice to me. Yeah.
Well, it's Wilford was a unique guy. He was very nice to myself. He had a certain idea for his character, and many times when there's two directors on any production, two directors, many times in like TV, you have the executive producers who have their own ideas, and then the director. Usually you try and funnel it into one voice to give to a director. And many times Wilford was
too many places. Yeah, well, they had the two brothers are directing. People. I can imagine how horrible that was. He would say, "Okay, I got it. I'm going to do that." And then right before the scene, somebody else would come up and say, "Now do it this way." You know, basically that would have drove me crazy.
Left, and it's like, wait, I thought I was, I thought I was.
Oh no!
Right. No, now it's exit left. Well, what happened to exit right? Well, that's not going to happen now. Exit left. Well, why am I doing it? You know, an actor always wants to say why. Why am I going here or there? I've always made my play into what's going on. Now you're completely changing it. And Joe Johnston was second unit director, and he was like a kid in a candy store, and he was going, well, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to do this and we're going to do that, and so everybody started going. And nothing against the Wheat Brothers, they did a very fine job of. We had a lot of action and stuff. It was just a lot of the people started wanting to work with Joe. And it was, you know.
Well, the Wheat Brothers are brilliant writers, by the way. They wrote Riddick, right? The Chronicles of Riddick. They're very prolific writers.
Yeah, I think so.
But I had a good experience working with it. They directed me. I didn't get directed by Joe Johnston. Wish I did, but you know, I didn't have a problem with them. They were really nice to me, and when they set me down and they explained to me, they said when they showed up and they had all these ideas about doing this Ewok adventure with the whole family, and then George said, "No, we want to make it like Heidi. We want to make Aubrey Miller the orphan because his daughter had just seen the movie and they wanted to make it like that." So that's how that happened. So that's and other things we didn't get to share. I mean, there was originally supposed to be 3 Ewok movies. I was signed to do. When I was first signed, I signed an option to do 2 more movies. So it was supposed to be a trilogy. I hear they actually got to the script phase of the 3rd Ewok movie. I've not seen it, but who knows what it was about. So maybe someone at Lucasfilm knows. There you go.
Disney X.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Disney.
Why not?
You can do it for Disney X. Because they need to buy these 2. We're one of the only 2 things that I mean, kids when I do Comic-Cons and things, adults now come up to me and say, Ewok Adventure is what got me through my childhood. Ewok Adventure, I played the tape so much that it wore out.
Yeah.
Where can I find it? They want to find it again to play for their children.
It is.
And they can't. It's very, very hard to find. So Disney, if you're listening, people.
They do. I have a petition too to get it on Disney Plus. It already has like almost 5,000 signatures.
Nice.
So yeah. So we need to. If you go to change.org, type in the Caravan of Courage movies and sign a petition to get the Ewok movies on Disney Plus or somewhere. So that'd be great for everybody.
We know that people at Disney, they listen to Skywalking Through Neverland.
That's
so
true.
This is a one step toward making that happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now you.
Because nothing else is being happened.
There.
In the hopper.
All right, you guys.
Just
Well,
put
we
it
do have to
on,
start wrapping up, but we do want to call out that we got another donation from, it looks like Jason from Toledo. So thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Very exciting. And so as we wrap up, where can people follow you guys on social media or your sites? This is your turn to plug yourself. Eric, how about you go first since you're presenter mode?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I nowadays I mainly compose instrumental music. So my official website is ericwalkermusic.com. I don't need to give out all the social media links because at that website you could go find me on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else. But it's ericwalkermusic.com, and hopefully you guys could listen to some of my instrumental music, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well.
All right, thank you. All right, Kevin, where can we find you on social media?
Let's see. Instagram's Kevin Thompson 7337. Twitter, Little Man Tux. And also, if you want to buy pictures, you can get me at kevintheewok@gmail.com. Would be my email. I think that's about it. I'm just finishing up a book right now called it's my time on Return of the Jedi as a child, because I was like Eric said, he was an athlete. He had to be an athlete. I was a gymnast and wrestler and also on the Hollywood Shorties. And so when I got Return of the Jedi, I was the only guy who was really a gymnast who could do all these crazy things and fall and get back up and say, oh, what, do it again? Okay, no problem, because that's what I was doing. I was 22 years old, becoming the youngest, one of the youngest guys on Return of the Jedi and the number one stunt guy on the number one movie of the world, in the world that year. So it's like it's a kind of our hero's journey going to.
Nice. Now, when you're on the Ewok sets, were there any kind of catchphrases you guys came up with as a goodbye? A yub nub, a.
Oh yeah, there you go.
What is that?
Shirt. That's the cast and crew shirt.
Nice.
Richard's wearing the cast and crew shirt.
Wow.
Beef goes. Yeah, you go.
We're
so cute.
Damn right, we're cute. Okay, are we all ready?
Along with that, we gotta say one more thing.
Oh, okay.
And may the Forcefest be with you. All right, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Eric, who was our admin today.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for that.
Good
Eric,
seeing
you
you,
can
bro.
close out the broadcast now.
Eric, good seeing
All
you,
right.
buddy.
Bye-bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Join us.
Thanks, Eric. All righty, guys.